trying to erase this misconception by proving that this technology can be used to connect and to educate. And so therefore today we will explore how immersive technology can be a force for good across borders, and how collaboration between Africa and other continents can accelerate this impact. And without further ado, I would like to welcome my panelists, that each and every one of you can introduce yourself. We have a short time, so keep it brief and straightforward as possible. Thank you. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm Tom Nickel, and I just have a big smile on my face because I met Paul and Diana, 6 years ago now, and just to think, this reminds me of how long it's been, what you've accomplished, how many people you've touched. There's businesses that have died and fallen, and you're still doing it and still touching people, which is what's excited me all along. So I'm a VR person, just happy to be along on the ride with the two of you. Is that kind of introduction you want? We're not supposed to make great statements about social good right now. Just say something like that.
No, just introduction as we go on. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Cass Pierce. I'm also known as 11 Goddess in virtual reality. I'm a content creator. I am a YouTuber, and I have created several virtual spaces that continue to engage community.
My name is Thomas Zauber. Hi to everyone. I'm organizer and curator of IMMERSIVE X. And what I'd like to mention is, that I gave a promise 2 years ago when I met Diana and Paul for the first time to always reserve a seat for Africa at IMMERSIVE X. And what I like to state already at this point is how genuinely happy and thankful I am for how our collaboration has developed. What I can say this year, the African continent and the members, the participants at IMMERSIVE X is already the third largest crowd we have at IMMERSIVE X after Europe and North America. So it's about 10% of all attendees are from Africa, which is amazing to my mind. And this is because of our great collaboration. And what I want to mention already, I not only want to reserve one seat next year, I want to reserve more for the African continent.
Excellent.
So hand it over to Dot.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dot Cannon, president of Two Mavericks Multimedia in Long Beach. I'm a content creator, storyteller, fledgling world builder, and I've had the honor of telling Africa VR Campus and Center's story. I am looking forward to hearing a lot more. I'm going to hand it over now to Rachel.
Hey, thanks everybody. I'm Rachel Darden, a health and well-being educator and coach with a focus here in XR. My work blends mindfulness, movement, and extended reality to help people thrive from the inside out. I typically collaborate globally with educators in XR and STEM networks like the Clubhouse Network and XR Africa Girls. And so thank you for having me here. It's such a wonderful space, and I'm so excited to share what's going on with us now.
Absolutely.
Hello, everyone. I'm Glenda Giles, also known as G-Deuce, here in the Metaverse. I'm CEO and founder of Barra Financial Services, where I'm located in Horizon Worlds, as well as in VR Chat and in Banter, where I teach financial literacy to one and all, and have been able to touch many people across the globe. And I'm also a content creator and a videographer here in VR.
Beautiful, beautiful. Each and every one of you have played a role for the success of Africa VR Campus and Center, and I'm honored to have you in this panel. Allow me, Tom, to go back to you. You know, you have been our friend for the longest time since we started this journey, and a great supporter. And from your perspective as a world builder and also as a VR consultant, what changes or growth have you seen in how immersive technology is being used for good, especially in education and community development? And is Africa VR Campus and Center in the right track to making this happen?
Yeah, well, that's certainly the question, and there's a lot of tracks, for sure. And I don't think that VR has been adopted as widely and as deeply as we would have hoped when we first met all those years ago. What's happening is, of course, it's being used in different areas that we don't see. This profession is adopting it for one thing, and another in training departments and whatnot. What the two of you are so different is that this is an independent venture, and it can't be said enough that you haven't sat around and waited for grant support. You've just said, we're going to work with young people, and we're going to show them technology, and we're going to allow them to present themselves in the 21st century as on top of everything. And you've done that just by doing it. And what you do attracts people, and attracts a little bit of support that you get to keep going. And so, to me, if the outstanding thing is that you're still doing it. And you're doing it your way, completely independently. Lots of people have had opportunities to co-opt this situation, but you have stayed on your message, which is to work directly with the people who who select themselves as wanting to put in the work, spend time with you, and really get a new vision of their own possibilities. That's what's the most inspiring, of course, is the number of people whose lives you've changed. So that would be a starter.
Absolutely, and we can't, have done it with the help of you and everyone else in the audience. So thank you for that. Thomas Zobag, as we've said, this is our fourth time in the IMMERSIVE X Summit. I remember vividly the first time we appeared in this summit, and the girls were so nervous to talk about what they are doing. And I want just you to tell us, what are the importance of using this platform for storytelling and community building?
It's all, if we want to change the world, it's all about storytelling, right? It's all about having good story to tell. And the way that we can tell stories here in this immersive environment is so emotional and so engaging that it draws you into somebody else's world. So, for example, when I visited the virtual African VR campus last year for the first time, you had Paul and you had told me so much about it, but being there, even it was only virtually, made me change my perspective on the great work what you do. And this is why the abilities, the opportunities we have here in this environment is so useful if we want to do good, or if you want to be closer to each other. And this is why I think we should really continue on that path.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at it from my perspective, VR and XR has been our number one go-to when we are talking about connection and community building. Can you imagine if we started in Facebook and trying to share our story in Facebook or any other social media? We wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't have met people like you and the people in the audience. So I would say absolutely that this is one of the best media to share stories and to show people the journey that one has been through and where we are going in as far as our vision is concerned. And as far as our vision is concerned, Rachel, you are with our girls. I think it was last month in a business competition, and you acted and you were their mentor. They were talking about mental wellness, and this is something that they've always wanted to do, to build an app where young people in Kenya and even in Africa can come and ease their mind. What is your take when it comes to inner growth and mentorship? How can immersive experiences help young people like our young girls, build emotional resilience and self-awareness?
I love that question because that's what it's where I thrive. I believe that immersive experiences can become a living classroom for emotional intelligence. In XR, young people can safely explore emotions, practice mindfulness, and connect with mentors in real time without any judgment or distractions. And then when they see their breath calm an avatar or their movement change an environment, it creates a direct link between awareness and impact. And I feel like that kind of embodiment learning builds true resilience and self-awareness, lessons that carry far beyond just like being in a headset or a Zoom call. The immersiveness of it is just truly that beautiful part that makes it so immersive, and it affects, I believe, all the senses in all the ways and just truly embodies that for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
True.
Do you have any advice that you could give maybe educators or mentors using XR to support mental health and confidence among the youth?
Don't be afraid of it. I feel a lot of people who come from my position, they're like, oh, you know, I'm way more comfortable in person. I'm way more comfortable in Zoom. And the experiences that you can create immersively within XR is just, it's safer. It's easier to come in. I know that there's days where I'm depressed or have anxiety, but I don't have to bring that with me into XR. And then when we're in here together, we co-regulate. And so I leave the sessions generally feeling much better about myself. So I'll walk in with anxiety, I'll co-regulate, have a beautiful immersive experience, and then I'll walk away feeling, you know, so much better every single time. I don't think I've ever had an immersive experience that wasn't, you know, mindfulness based or just like coming to Tom's, you know, graffiti sessions or anything where, you know, I wasn't able to have that true connection more so than as if I was just on a Zoom call or, you know, a regular like voice call. It just really, the co-regulation I think is really truly strong here. And I feel like that's always overlooked.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't agree more. Yeah. And when we talk about coming together in one immersive environment, we always find ourselves, you know, with different kind of people from different kind of backgrounds who are practicing different kind of cultures. And I would love Cass to take up on this because I know that your work and art, really, you love art. I've come to one of your worlds and you love it. It's beautiful. And you celebrate culture. How can immersive tech help people from different creative fields like music, writing, and artwork together, you know, work together in a way that respects each person's idea and still creates one powerful experience?
I think the easiest way to approach it, especially from a VR standpoint, is you have to know that what you are creating when you come inside here is a virtual experience. It's not bringing per se the real world with you, but it's bringing self and what you can imagine, taking the limits off and welcoming other people from other places. Disabilities are removed. Ethnicity takes a backseat. Even I found myself language taking a back seat to being able to show someone around, being excited about what they bring to the environment. When I first met the girls in Africa VR, it was overwhelming in the sense that I'm sitting in my home in Houston, Texas, and I am having conversations with these beautiful people from around the world. And I think for those of us who are in a headset, we already get it. We're already community builders, that we show up, that we make connections. We're telling people outside of this experience how rich it is, but we're setting the example of exactly how powerful it is by doing it, by living it, by this type of creation like this, and sharing these experiences like this on a platform.
Absolutely. And you see, I know for those who have gone around, they've seen arts and Metaverse Soko over there, where we are celebrating culture. We want people to see what we use, and not only to buy, but to celebrate the African culture, and there's
Absolutely.
no better way. There's no better way to bring people across the world to see what Africa has to offer. Each and every item that we have has a story behind it, and every culture that we bring in the metaverse has a story behind it, and it's important. We need to learn each and every, everybody's culture, and most importantly to respect it, so
And respect it is so important. You create, especially the kind of art or the kind of spaces that I've created, it's naturally welcoming for those who really want to learn something about a place they've never been, about people they've never had a chance to exchange ideas with or even talk to. So just like in this, and I look around this room, and there's so many people here that are willing to engage, just it's a sense of community. It is such an exciting thing to see happening in VR. I really think we're ahead of the issue of whether or not other people are coming in. We're here. We're already building worlds.
Absolutely. Let's go to Judith. You talk about financial empowerment, something that we all love. And also I remember you coached our girls, I think it was early this year. You talked to them about financial literacy and how to save and how to do grant writing and all that. How can immersive technology help communities, especially our young women, XR Girls Africa, gain financial independence and confidence?
Yeah, well, you hit on a very important thing. It builds that financial confidence, because oftentimes when I'm teaching these classes in real life, the physical life, that people are hesitant to, well, they may come to class, but they will not talk about their financial issues, problems, or struggles. And I found here in VR, people are more open. They're willing to say, hey, I need assistance or help in this area. And then they come to class and they share their experiences. And then they're able to bond, they're able to communicate with people from not just their locale, but other places. And then there's that help. So, that confidence is one of the key parts, in learning, financial literacy, itself. But it also gives them that hands-on as well too. You're not just talking at the person, but you can actually engage them in the different games and tools and so forth that we have available here in VR.
Yeah, beautiful. And everybody who has an organization based in the virtual world or in XR industry, we are all talking about grants, right? We want grants to keep our work going. And truth be said, there are not much of the grants, and we are all working with what we have. So how you've helped organization access major funding, as you've said, and how can you help? How can XR help, democratize access to such opportunities?
Well, one thing that it does is it allows, it opens the doors. Basically, when you come in here, you're reaching people from all over the world. So it broadens your scope. Okay. And so when you come in here to VR and you're talking about grants and, access to funding, then it broadens your scope as to where normally people are looking at their local environment to actually apply those grants to. Now you can look worldwide and actually broaden your reach or broaden your access to different types of funding. Now, sometimes, when you say funding, you say grants, some people just think it's okay, I'm going to go for a federal grant. And that's, like here in the US, or maybe something, statewide. But sometimes they forget about foundations. Okay, they forget about corporations, that actually provide funding, not just locally or nationally, but internationally. They have a far reach. So, it allows you to actually put yourself in that realm of not only being a local organization, but you can now be an international organization and therefore get more funding.
Absolutely. Amazing. Dot, let me come to you. you have hosted in your podcast, as you said, 475 episodes, right? It's amazing.
Wow.
It's a milestone. I love it. And in those episodes, Africa VR Campus and Center has been featured. I can't count the times you have taken our girls and to yourself and interviewed them, and they talked to you. And I love the discussion that came out from your podcast with these girls. So how do you see immersive technology transforming the way we tell, and experience stories today?
I see immersive technology transforming the way we tell stories, and it'll make them more interactive. I've just come to a great session in here where one of the speakers said story living, not storytelling. How would we make the next set of stories about Africa VR at Campus and Center interactive, where people can actually pick up the baskets the girls make, or maybe walk among the aisles and see the mushrooms they've been growing at Kewa Farms, things of that nature. It's exciting because we're just beginning to do this kind of thing, and tomorrow is going to be more exciting than today.
Absolutely. I love the work you do, and maybe tell people where you can find your podcast before we close up.
Sure, twomavericks.com. TWOMAVERIX is how I spell it. My podcast is called Over Coffee, and I guess I'll promote that there's something special coming up. I won't say what because Diana and Paul get to see it first, but something special coming up.
Absolutely. I love it. Guys, go listen to that. I want to finish this with Tom. Tom, I want you to tell us, what does immersive tech for good mean to you? Because personally, this is why we're here. Tech for good. Paul is rushing me up, so.
Yeah. It's all been said, and I'll say it again. It's just to be able to be present with each other in a way that only VR allows. We really feel that we're in this space today, being hosted by two people living in a small village outside of Nairobi, and it's this person-to-person connection. The fact that the young people that you work with got together in VR with young people from other parts of the world and just hung out and got to know each other. That's what gives me hope. The fact that we can, not mediated by anything other than this wonderful medium itself, make real relationships with each other. I mean, I haven't helped Africa VR Campus. You have expanded my life just so much by how much VR has let me just experience the reality of other people. So
wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your thoughts with us, and thank you so much for sitting and listening to us. Bye-bye. So coming up is the XR Girls Africa team with a poem for y'all. Let's listen in.
Oops. Hello. Oh, yes. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm using it as well, so I would like to connect with you and talk some more.
Okay, what is your name over there?
I'm Deep It Dad.
All right.
You're what?
A minute. Jaduse, you're still amplified.
Okay.
Jaduse, you're still amplified. Please mute yourself. There'll be time for interactions later. If you are in the panel, please mute yourself so that we can give XR girls an opportunity to do their thing. Go ahead, guys.
I'm Still Standing
Talking isn't much.
by Marcus McCoy. A poem presented to you by XR Girls Africa.
I'm still standing, and that should scare you. I took a walk where you wouldn't dare, where the wind carries regret, like perfume cleaning to the bones of memory, where the ground groans under the weight of every time. I almost said enough and disappeared. You want truth? Not the polished kind, the bleeding kind. Then sit down, shut up, and listen with your spine, not your ears. You look at me and nod, thinking you have read my chapters, but you have never touched the pages that caught fire. You see a girl still walking and think that means peace? But I've carried hell on my back, slept beside demons, with my name in their teeth, and smiled just enough to keep your world comfortable.
I'm not your project, not inspiration porn, not a broken toy. You parade around for likes and fake prayers.
I'm the never giving up survivor you never saw coming. And I didn't crawl through fire just to ask your permission to speak. You judged me from your velvet chair, sipping your certainty, while I was knee-deep in shards, begging the night to shut its cruel mouth, and wishing the morning would stop pretending to be light. But mercy doesn't come to those who suffer politely. I stayed. Do you hear me? I stayed. When vanishing felt like relief, when silence begged for my name, I stayed. Not for your applause, not for your healing narrative. I stayed because I wasn't going to hand this cruel, rigged world another victory.
Now you call me strong? Where the hell were you when I couldn't look in the mirror without flinching?
Don't you dare call me brave like it's some gold sticker. This wasn't courage. It was instinct. It was blood. It was fire screaming in my lungs while I still chose to breathe. I'm not quite anymore. I'm not soft for your comfort. And I'm not here to make peace with the people who made war on my soul. I'm the voice that rose from the ashes you left behind. I'm the match you could snuff out. I'm the loud, cast, strong no to every lie you've whispered about what I'm worth. I am here to make noise, to rattle the bones of every room that silenced the broken, to make the ground shift when I say my name. I'm still standing, still breathing, still refusing to bow.
And if that makes you uncomfortable, good. It means I've finally become everything you were afraid I could be. Zai, the zai, gai, zai. 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 Zai, the zai, gai, zai.
Zai, the zai, gai, zai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. It's wonderful. The on fire in Africa. It's very warm. I have to tell you the reason why it's dark in our world, because it's 10:30 p.m. in Kiambu in Kenya. And now we are welcoming a short panel by our African peers. Those who can sit down by themselves, go ahead and do that. I see Yahuza from Nigeria. I'm going to sit you shortly. All right. Lisbet. Lisbet, can you do a mic check in the crowd? I think you're here with us.
Yes, I am.
And Vangile from South Africa. A mic check, are you here?
Hi, Paul. I'm here. You're going to have to please seat me.
All right, no problem. All right, let's Vangile. And as we do that, please share a little bit of the story in the screen before we sit everybody.
This is a story of two Pauls who met and became friends in the metaverse, also known as virtual reality. Paul from Michigan, USA, and Paul from Kiambu in Kenya.
All right. This is Africa VR Campus and Center, and these are the Africa VR tech pioneers. Different fields, different location, and they are doing it wherever they are using the technology that they have. A quick round of introductions. Let's start with you, Yahuza, in Nigeria. We can, loud and clear. Go ahead.
State, Nigeria.
Wonderful. Lisbet.
Masters in alternative and augmentative communication, and then I ventured into the metaverse, where I have a space in spatial called My African Dream.
All right, Luvai.
Hello everyone, my name is Luvai Lijoodi. I am a student of medicine and surgery at Kenyatta University, and very happy to be here this evening.
All right, welcome Luvai, karibu sana, and we have Diana.
Hello everyone again. My name is Diana. I am the co-founder of Africa VR Campus and Center and XR Girls Africa Director. Thank you.
Vangile from South Africa.
Hello, I'm Vangile. I'm from South Africa.
Paul, we can't hear the voices from the panelists.
All right, just a minute. All right, Vangile.
I'm just turning them on. I'm trying to turn them on one by one, but I can't do it fast enough.
Okay, can you guys hear me now?
No.
All right, now try one more time, Vangile.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Okay, yes. Go ahead, Vangile.
Okay, my name is Vangile. I'm from South Africa. I'm a money trauma coach. I'm also a published author of 2 books, Heart, Mind, and Money, and What's Your Money Personality.
All right, I think we'll have to go back to Yahuza Magaji. I don't know whether he was heard. Yahuza?
Yes, Paul. Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Yahuza Magaji. I'm from Taraba State in Nigeria. I'm the Executive Director for Initiative for Human Development, a non-governmental organization working to improve life of the citizens at the community and the rural areas, especially on education and healthcare. Thank you.
All right, Lisbet, one more time, just in case we missed you.
Hi, I'm Lisbet. I'm from South Africa. I have a background as a speech-language pathologist, working with non-speaking autistic people across Africa. And then I ventured into the digital space, where I bring some of the African culture into the metaverse, and I have spaces called My African Dream and My African Dream events in spatial, and do event hosting and things there.
All All right, and Luvai, just in case we missed you, go ahead.
Okay, hello once again, everyone. My name is Luvai Lijoodi. I am a student of medicine and surgery, hopefully graduating next year. Yeah, and by virtue of these networks, I'm glad to say I'm one of the pioneers of the MedXR community in Kenya.
All right, Diana, one more.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diana, co-founder of Africa VR Campus and Center and director of XR Girls Africa, which is a digitalized socio-economic group for women, young women in Africa.
10.
Hi everyone, I'm Wanjiro Mwangi, a student at Africa VR Campus and Center, and also a member of XR Girls Africa, which is a digitalized social economic empowerment program by Africa VR Campus and Center to empower young girls like us. And lastly, I was added as the student chapter at XR Women. Shout out to Karen Alexander.
And Karen Alexander is actually in the audience. Want to take that up, Karen, and say why you did that?
Yes. We are just absolutely delighted to have the XR Girls Africa as a student chapter of XR Women. We had started a couple of student chapters with colleges here in the U.S., and we have been long admirers of the Africa VR Campus and Center and the excellent work that you do to empower young women and give them skills to succeed and to build in the metaverse and to be global citizens through virtual reality. And we are really excited to get to know these young women, to connect with them, to make connections across cultures, and to support one another as we all move forward in our journeys. And we couldn't be happier to have you as a member of our teams. Can I say just one more thing about this, which I don't think has been mentioned yet? In some of the things that were said before, there was the suggestion or the statement that the things that we do here in the metaverse do have an effect in the real world. They really matter. And that's why one of the 3 awards that XR Women gives out each year is for real world impact. The other 2 are for innovation and trailblazer. But we this year awarded Diana and Njeri with our real world impact award at the Augmented World Expo USA. We announced it, and there couldn't be anyone who is more deserving of that award. So congratulations to you, Diana, for the hugely important work that you do.
Thank you, Karen.
And then we have Dr. Nikwere. Nikwere, as you introduce yourself, please go ahead and say what you're doing in Nairobi, just to save time. Go ahead.
Great. Hello, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here. My name is Dr. Nikwere. I am an orthopedic resident at Kenyatta National Hospital. This is the biggest hospital in Kenya, and we receive a lot of patients from there. And I am also very passionate about amputations and provision of prosthetics, and that led me to start a 3D printing company that works and manufactures prosthetics using 3D printing. This has increased the customization, has reduced the cost, and increased the comfort. As you can see, this is a boxer who became so confident that just last year he was able to go to the World Paralympics. And we're really changing children's lives. I think one of our eldest patients is about 99 years old, and this has just revolutionized the prosthetic care in Kenya. I'm also very passionate about XR in surgery and the applications in surgery, XR for medical education, and really happy to be part of this community, looking to network and, form partnerships as we move along. As you said, this is just the beginning.
And in as much as touching the community, Nick and I are starting the MedXR program, and one of the students who have actually been interested is Luvai. Come in, Luvai.
Okay, so as Paul Simon has mentioned, I am an enthusiast of MedXR and its applications in medical training. So maybe just as an overview, I got interested in simulations training sometime last year when I figured that the kind of training that usually undergraduates get is generally not adequate to prepare them for the real world scenarios that they encounter. So after much exploration with simulation trainings, I was able to get in contact with Dr. Nick, who then linked me with Paul Simon, and I was able to experience various aspects of medical education in VR. And I have to say that it has transformed how I perceive simulation trainings. It definitely has the component of allowing us to explore all kinds of situations, all kinds of scenarios that could not be replicated within four walls, within simulation labs that are not really available for many, and that generally improves the quality of education that we have, and by extension gives me the confidence that I would need to have as a doctor, reaching out to patients and just offering care to them. So yes, definitely MedXR is an avenue that we need to exploit more and more within the African continent, so that we improve the quality of education that we get as students.
And somebody who is touching communities in West Africa is Yahuza Magaji, trying to take the same initiative to remote Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Mr. Paul. I'm really excited to be here, to be among the panelists, and also to be part of the global community in the VR, via the VR Center campus. Actually, we are a non-governmental organization working to improve lives in communities across Nigeria, especially when it comes to education, health, and conflict resolution. Looking at this video, some of the activities we undertake, trying to bring in harmony and harmonious living between farmers and herders, which will have a series of conflicts here in Nigeria, especially in Taraba State where I live, as well as getting students, especially the young girls, back into school where they can study and learn. And with the help of the African VR campus, we have initiated some initiatives where we bring in the technology, the immersive technology, into education. We are now working with the girls to learn and relearn across the globe using the immersive technology. This is a well accepted initiative by our young girls across a rural community in Taraba State, because that is where we're focusing in. We don't want them to live outside the educational line. We want everybody to be part of the education, to have the sense of belonging that, yes, the community, the world is with them in terms of education and social amenities. This is what we've been doing, and then we're also looking forward to more collaboration with the African VR campus, the XR women, as well as the XR girls in Kenya, to see how we can collaborate and bring in more young girls into this global space where we can share ideas and probably maybe host a debate between the African continent within the VR community. I think it's what we are looking forward to do in the next coming years. Mr. Paul, thank you.
And one of the girls who have benefited from this is none other than Agnes, who is part of the panel. Agnes, Wanjiru, so to speak, what do you think? Has there been a social impact in your life? Do you look differently as a young woman blooming up surrounded by technology in Africa VR Campus and Center?
Oh yes, I see things in another perspective. As for me, I studied in a rural school where we didn't have even microscopes. We saw microscopes when we were doing our practical exam. Imagine the end of the year semester and you've seen a microscope for the first time. I would really say that I've gained a lot. Looking back from where I came from, I'm really proud to be an XR Girls Africa student and also a member of Africa VR Campus and Center, and hope it will help us and we will move on until we reach to our goals. Yeah.
And which of the girls in the 360 photo that just bloomed in are you?
I'm over there with a red cap. Yeah, over there.
All right, let me see. Yeah, that's you over there. If you can see the girl with the red cap, I'm bringing her around. And you guys are the one who took this photo. You are making 360 photos to present in VR.
Yeah. We were using an X5 360 camera. We were gifted by, I think, Grace. It was a really good gift because even photogrammetry, we didn't have funds to do the scanning and all that and importing the projects that we've scanned. But having an X5, we will have 360 videos. We'll do a lot with the X5 camera.
Wonderful. And Vangile, after these girls have been mentored and they are starting to put a little bit of their money, you are the one to guide them on how to use their finances.
Yes, we hope so. That is the bulk of my work, Paul.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us what you do, Vangile.
Okay. So what I do is I work with ancestral trauma. A lot of work around personal finance comes from a very Western standpoint and a very Western viewpoint, which looks at money from an individual standpoint. But actually, when you look at collective societies, money is actually a collective aspect of who we are. And I look at how intergenerational trauma travels through the bloodline and how African people can actually change the way that they invest money and manage money by understanding their archetypes and working together as a collective to actually start to change their bodies. So I developed a series of archetypes that I think that's where I got really interested when I started talking to you, Paul, about VR. Look at what's possible in the space and looking at how people can start to interact with this work that I do within virtual reality, being able to look at their archetypes and maybe communicate with their archetypes within virtual reality and understanding how they can start to manage money within families very, very differently. So we're also talking about building generational wealth, not saving and spending, but actually how do you invest and how do you use the power of the collective to actually start to invest and wealth.
And you know something very miraculous happened when Vangile was being onboarded into VR. Within 5 minutes, she absorbed her from the metaverse. I don't know whether Bernice is in the room because she will be flying all the way from the US to join Vangile in South Africa. And this is the miracle, the wonderful things that happen in VR. And one of the people who are giving metaverse stories from Africa is Lisbet in Spatial. Go ahead and tell us about that, Lisbet.
So yes, I have a space in Spatial called My African Dream, and for me it was important to bring more of the African culture into the digital space, especially some of our philosophies like Ubuntu, which means I am because we are. So the whole nature of working together, creators not competing with each other, but rather helping each other to succeed, and those type of things. And I have a background in inclusion and human rights. From the work as a speech language pathologist, I ran my own non-profit. I ran a practice for 15 years, and I'm trying to bring that into the event hosting. So I've recently started hosting events there, and for people who want more of an African experience, like drumming, things like that. And then also to do events for companies, purposeful events. So it's a company called Pixel Dreams that I started with Ken Davis, my business partner. And we create meaningful events for companies that have purposeful visions and goals, and also to save a lot of resources, to not use plastic for balloons and chairs and all of those things. So that's what I do, yes. And I feel this is very applicable to my work as an SLP, because I was traveling around a lot in Africa, and we noticed how much of the costs actually went towards traveling to get education to the people to be able to work with the non-speaking autistic people. So I hope to merge the two in future.
Wow, wonderful. Diana, can you close for us by answering this question? The social impact you wanted to create when you set out with Africa via Kamba, have you achieved it?
Yeah, I have achieved it. What I would say is that I am not where I used to be, but also I'm not yet where I want to go, right? It has been a journey, and there are a lot of things to achieve, and I'm looking forward to achieving it. But the most important thing for me is waking up and seeing the life of the girls that we've mentored is changed through technology. Girls in Africa fear technology. Why? Because it has been instilled into them that, you know, they cannot learn technology. It's soft subjects, and that's it. But bring these girls here in XR, and for them gaining certain skills like photogrammetry. Now they are able to scan their products for Metaverse Soko and post them, and in their Metaverse worlds. They are able to take 360 videos and 360 pictures that everyone can connect to the stories they are telling. That makes me feel good and helps me feel, sleep better at night, knowing that tomorrow they will be better than they are today. Yeah, I can't wait to see where their journey is going. One of the things that I love about these girls as I finish is that they don't give up, right? And that's what we all want. They don't give up. They keep showing up. No matter how sometimes hard it gets, they keep showing up. And that's what I think I learned from them too. Keep showing up.
You know, one of the things that happened here, by the way, people, is this is a photo taken in a live photogrammetry graduation. The lesson was done entirely right here in GmbH XR by their lecturer who was in United Kingdom. You can imagine that. And this was it. This was their graduation. And now they can do photogrammetry, and they'll be bringing new assets, 3D assets from Africa. Thomas Zobag, as you close for us this stage and tell us where we are going next, you gave these girls wings to fly by giving them a platform to speak to the world. Like Tom Nico said, the grandfather of Africa VR Campus and Center, they are hard, far away, just because you gave them. Where is that guy? Come here and let's acknowledge Thomas Zobag. For 4 or 5 years now, we've worked with a guy in Germany. I've never met him. And here we are.
That's really heart-wrenching, heartwarming. What you say means a lot. Means really a lot to me and to all to our community who are organizing this. And I mean, I said it in the beginning, and I want to stress it right now. I had one seat for you, one session. That was the beginning, but please feel invited to bring together the great African continent to Immersive X next year with more seats. Please consider it as an invitation and hope to hear more stories next year. Thank you very much for having us.
And just before I give you back the mic, this was the first scan that was done by our students. This is a verse just outside their village campus. And they will be going to the local museums. This is their project. They'll be going to the local museums, and instead of flying to Africa to see 3D assets, they will be bringing them in the metaverse for you to see. So we are going to have an exhibit, a museum exhibit for all the local museum artifacts. I see a lot of people in the crowd who have been the support of this girl, Edward Jakowiak. I see you from Edward, from Canada, Montreal, Dot Cannon from California. I see Njeri, wherever you are. Elizabeth, she's the one who gave us the 360 camera. We have grown because of you. I don't know where Paul Hillman is. He did a fundraiser, bought us over 20 headsets, and we keep going forward. All of you who are creating rules for collaboration, Africa voice will be heard. And we say that the metaverse is our United Nations. The real United Nations is failing. You people are the United Nations. Right here, together in the metaverse, we are talking with each other, and by gum, we're gonna have a big social impact in these village communities where we are. My name is Wayaki, the first African in the metaverse, signing out from Kiambu in Kenya. Thomas, take the mic. Thank you, Carl. Thomas Zobak, tell people where they are going next.
You're all invited to continue our great journey for this year's Immersive X, Immersive Impact. This is our topic, and we all know there are lots of changes to be made on many levels, and we will have a few other sessions today, and tomorrow a really packed day with sessions in culture, technology, and arts. And so please join our sessions. There are a few seats left. You can still book slots, and I hope to see you around. Thanks very much for joining this session. Thanks to Diana and Paul, to everything at the Africa VR Conference, and to the great panelists. And thanks for joining.
Thank you. And by the way, since 2019, we have done metaverse events right here in Engage. We started in Allspace, but now our space was shut down. We came here to Engage XR. So catch us every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right here. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Feel free to interact. I'm going to switch on the spatial audio and leave some videos.
Hello.
From Africa.
Did we meet earlier in the virtual reality?